every time. All right. I don't know what I just did. One second. I need to make sure my audio is synced up. Man, I wish. No sound. What? There should be, let's see, sound coming from here. Input. Sound should be coming in. But you're saying there's no sound. Let me see. We have a no sound. Let me join the stream real quick. I can hear it. Is it on YouTube? YouTube. Someone's trying to join the stream on Pump Fun? Oh. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I want to say yes to that. Okay. Now let me just check one thing. I need to make sure that my mic is synced up. I'm gonna check it on my phone real quick. This might take a second. We'll get started in a second. We're still waiting for people to show up. All right. I'm turning the lights on. Let's get the lights going. Ooh, it's bright. All right, check one. Oh, it's pretty good. All right, we're good. We are good. What's going on, everybody? It's got the chat. No sound. Now it's okay. Let's go. Let me close this. Got a few people watching. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to send this link out to everybody. Let me syndicate. The program that I used to use to post on Twitter, or the program that I do use to live stream, had a feature where it would post the preview to Twitter, but then somehow Twitter started blocking posts. Go to Discord real quick. All right, let's see what else. Where else do I know people? I think those are good. Oh, I remember. For me and the 37 people left on Farcaster. One second. I'll have to check that out later. People are beefing on the internet. All right. Okay, I think we're good to get started. Let's put this down here. Got a few people watching. And obviously this is recorded, so you'll be able to watch it later. So what we're going to talk about today is an idea that I came up with, I would say probably a week and a half ago at this point, 2 weeks ago. And a little bit of backstory into how I came up with the idea and what the idea revolves around. So anybody, it's a little story time. So anybody who's been in crypto for any amount of time, you know, at least one or two cycles, you'll notice that there's this trend that happens where people will build a project and then some people will want to add some functionality to that project or make some changes. And then the project there'll be this, governance process, right? Where people will get angry about your feature's not in or my feature's not in. And then you'll end up with this forking design, right? And then you'll have one community, and in crypto, all of the communities are pretty small, but you'll have one small community that then becomes smaller. And then there's a faction of that small community that has their new feature, but their new feature wasn't really that valuable in the first place, even though they fought for it. And now you've got like two communities. And then crypto is basically this, just like all the way down, right? We had Bitcoin, and then people said, oh, we want Bitcoin to be faster. So they made Litecoin and a bunch of other forks. And then they were like, oh, well, we want smart contracts. So they made Color coins and a bunch of other types of coins on Bitcoin. And then at the end of the day, Ethereum comes out, and Ethereum is like full Turing complete contracts on Bitcoin. But now you've got two chains you have to worry about. Do I do my stuff on Bitcoin, or do I do my trades on Ethereum? And then Ethereum comes out, and then some people want faster Ethereum. They want privacy built in, so they build, a privacy version of Ethereum. They build a speedier version of Ethereum. You name it. And so you end up with all these forks, all these copies. And then, oh, hold on, I got a comment here. So you end up with all these copies of all these forks. And then at the end of the day, you've got a whole bunch of different micro communities, and then they're all fighting against each other, right? So the argument is like, oh, your chain's not decentralized enough, your chain's not fast enough, your chain's not this, your chain's not that. Even though realistically, the enemy is not the other chain. We're trying to build stuff to basically challenge CeFi, but that's not how it ends up playing out. And so after, I would say about 2022 in crypto, this was becoming kind of like a challenge for me, because I was like, everybody's just making these smaller and smaller and smaller communities. And it seems like nobody's actually trying to bring crypto communities together. There's no tool or anything that's saying like, let's take Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash and like try to bring them back together somehow. Or let's take Ethereum and Ethereum Classic and try to merge them back together somehow. There's no there's a lot of decomposition in crypto, but there's no composition in crypto. And when I was in Abu Dhabi or in Dubai for the Solana Breakpoint and then also for the Magic Block Hackathon, I met a bunch of other competitors that were building competitor products to what we were working on at BlockSwap. And we met one night, like me and all the competitors, we're all there, we're all trying our apps, we're all trying each other's apps out. And that night we decided, it was probably, I think it was like December 7th or something, maybe December 8th or December 7th. We decided, hey, let's try to figure out a way to work together, right? Because all of our different platforms, we all have different investors, we all have different fundraising strategies, different cap tables, different team sizes, different equity allocations. And so I was like, this is going to be tough, but we should figure out a way to work together. And so the thing that we decided, or so a few weeks ago, I was listening to a podcast about the history of Formula One. And it gave me this idea. There's the person who's pretty much the orchestrator of all of Formula One is this guy. He's Bernie Ecclestone. He basically kept Formula One together for like 50 years or 40 years by himself. And it's a great podcast. If you want to listen to it, it's the Acquired podcast, and the episode is about Formula One. But in that podcast, it gave me an idea. I was like, what if we make the Formula One for tap trading? So we take all of the tap trading applications and we put them together in one product, right? And so that's the idea that we're going to be talking about today. Let me see these comments. What does Jeevan say? Good news is that we're adopted in the community of tap trading, and once we accept the sacrifice, it'll be made on our behalf. The conception of Bitcoin. What's up, Jesse? No one wants Bcash and Bitcoin to fuse. See? Exactly. Case in point. All right. So we're going to just go to what I'm going to show you guys is, so I've been kind of passing this idea amongst a few people. Because if we're going to create this Formula One of tap trading, there's going to be a lot of people that are involved, just like in Formula One, right? We're going to have traders, we're going to have the different platforms, we're going to have sponsors, we're going to have the whole nine. And I want it to be a crypto native version of this, not a, like TradFi version of this. So all these ideas are just ideas. And what I'm going to show you right now, this is our pitch deck. And this is the pitch deck that I've been showing to everybody who I've just been talking to this idea about. So anybody who I've talked to as a partner, or even amongst us that are in the tap trading group, like the exchanges, this is the deck that I've been showing to people to just give the idea, kind of get them in the idea. So what are we building? We're building a trading arena platform, and we want to build a place where traders can compete live for trading assets on chain. And we want this to be obviously on chain, and we want this to be live because we know that there's going to be excitement in these tap trading experiences. So the first problem that we have right now is like sentiment in crypto is pretty much down the tubes, right? You've got Peter Steinberger, who's pretty famous for creating OpenClaw, which is the fastest growing open source project of all time. And I think his sentiment echoes what a lot of people think, which is like all of crypto is scams. You've got Thread Guy, I would say probably the biggest crypto streamer, but he trades everything right now, but one of the biggest crypto streamers right now. in this cycle, and he's even calling out like for like Vitalik and others for selling. Everybody's selling, and then you've got Profit, who's the co-founder of MetaDAO, and they're they're people that are looking for new projects, new things to come out, new ideas that have not been tried before, not been done before. So that's the sentiment side from people that are in and outside of crypto. And then you've got the other challenge, which is broadcasting and syndication, right? It's X has been suspending accounts and blocking people. YouTube blocks people, suspends accounts. Twitch blocks people and suspends accounts. So if you have a crypto project that's like a legitimate project, you really can't even market it or talk about it or sell it or do anything with it anywhere, because all the platforms for you to communicate are gate kept and will shut you down. Oh, hold on. I think my stream is, I can still hear my stream in the background. Yeah, close that. That's funny. Hopefully I didn't get too much in the background. But yeah, so a lot of the streaming platforms are gated as well. So what I did over the course of an evening is vibe code our own streaming platform, right? So this is nothing crazy. It just streams the respective teams that said they would want to be involved in our first season. It just streams their websites to our main taptrade.tv website, and so you can basically see live each trading experience. And we still have to work on how the live stream is going to work, but this is just an idea for what we're doing. So we're effectively going to build our own esports trading platform from the ground up. And this, with the advent of all these vibe coding tools, like I said, I built this in like a few hours in an evening in like one Ralph Wiggum loop. I spent a lot more time polishing it and cleaning it up, but the core of this thing was working pretty much in an evening. So what we're going to do is we want to have some tournaments. Our distribution strategy is going to be to restream on all these platforms that block us and gatekeep us, because there's going to be no way to really make money on these other platforms because they don't want crypto in there in the first place. I mean, you can show stuff, but as long as you're not getting sponsored, that's fine. So we're going to have to figure out a different business strategy that's not getting clicks from YouTube or TikTok or Kick or whatever. That's going to be probably out the window. And the goal is to broadcast live. We want to use a social media strategy, so have a way to broadcast and syndicate across, all of the different social media platforms like TikTok, Discord, YouTube, Telegram. And then we also want to have an influencer strategy and a clipper army that will be able to clip and re-syndicate the people that are having fun in the game. So crypto traders, maybe gambling streamers, although probably not. I don't know if that's really going to be this niche because, I mean, maybe, who knows? Esports personalities. And then we want to have sponsorships and affiliate revenue cover the costs of the stream. And we'll just collect those directly. We're not going to go through some third-party system. And then for the sponsorship model, we want to have, maybe like the wallets, the RPCs, the price feeds, Solana ecosystem, right? I know that yesterday or a few days ago, I just got this the Seeker phone, and I got BlockSwap running on it, and I know that Rush runs on the Seeker phone, and what's the other one? Banana also runs on the Seeker phone. So yeah, so you can't see it, but yeah, so that's BlockSwap running on the Seeker, right? So we want to get other players in the ecosystem, and we basically want to work together, right? We like if we onboard more people into the ecosystem, Phantom wins because people are going to be opening up more wallets. Pyth wins because people are going to be using the price fees in the oracles. Solana wins because people are going to be executing more transactions on chain. All of the pieces in this ecosystem all win together by us just advertising and marketing and working together, as opposed to trying to fragment and create different little small fiefdoms. Now, this part, I've actually shared this with a few people, and I've gotten, I would say, mixed results or reviews from this. And I've applied to MetaDAO, but I haven't heard anything back yet. But one idea was that we have a DAO that governs the whole trading arena platform. right? So there's like a tap token, and I don't really know how the economics of this are going to work. But maybe like not the economics of the DAO, right? Because I think with MetaDAO, there's lots of, the community owns the IP and the community owns the pretty much everything except for the developers themselves. And so I don't know how this would actually work and how much needs to be raised, but the idea could be that this DAO governs the whole experience. So they control who the sponsors are, they'll control which exchanges work. They could set the fees for the winners and the losers. They can set the schedule. There's a bunch of things that need to go into how this is built and how this is designed, but that could be governed by a tap trading like a DAO. And this doesn't have to be, everybody doesn't have to be in. You can just be in and be an equity holder, or you can just, not be in it or be in it and actively be engaged, but just from the perspective of I believe in this thing going forward. And so here's kind of like an analogy that I would give for tap trading and F1. So in F1, you've got the FIA, which is kind of like the governing body, and that would be this tap DAO, which is for the trading arena platform DAO. In F1, you've got tracks. So you've got like Abu Dhabi, Austin, Imola, and then on tap, we would have exchanges. So we'd have like Banana Zone, Rush, Trade, BlockSwap. In F1, you've got your racers. In tap, we have traders. I think when we start, we're not going to really have any teams per se. So that's probably going to be the one big gap. But, they've got Formula One TV or Formula1.com. We've got Tap Trade TV. They're racing, we're trading. They'd have sponsors, Tag Heuer, Dell, Moet. And then we'd have sponsors like Phantom, Triton, Helios, something like that. We want to have hosts. So there are a couple of people that I've been reaching out to who've been interested in hosting. And then obviously we're thinking about doing teams, but we don't have any teams right now. We basically just have exchanges. And the first version of this is probably going to be more of like a free for all, more so than an actual like team built version. And so this is kind of how we're thinking about the structure of everything, right? So you've got spectators, which are kind of like the fuel for this whole business. And they're either going to watch the streams live or they're going to doom scroll the clips. The sponsors are going to have their logos on the streams, on the clips, on everything. And then the sponsors will pay into this treasury, which will be managed by the DAO. And then the treasury would pay the hosts for streaming. They're going to pay the clippers for clipping. They're going to pay the traders out via prizes, and they're going to pay the exchanges. Maybe there's like some fee that each exchange gets for hosting, one of the trading events. And then the traders will just tap trade on the exchanges, and the hosts are going to stream the tap trading experience live. And so this is kind of like the idea, right? This is the kind of like the launch or the announcement of the idea. This part again is kind of still in question about the tap token, and maybe it's a tap, maybe it's a MetaDAO thing, maybe it's some other type of project or something similar. Maybe it's a venture token, maybe it's some other actual, like coded token that does something more specific. But we want to have some sort of token attached to this. Then there's Rush, right, which would be round one, the first version of this, which people can tap trade, and this is live on mainnet now. Then Banana would go next, and they're also live on mainnet now. And then BlockSwap we would go third, and we're not live on mainnet, but we're close. We're really close, and we're live on DevNet right now. And then the next one would be like ecosystem asks. So this is just kind of like who we're talking to and like what we're thinking about in the ecosystem. So obviously you've got the exchanges, you've got the governance side. Right now we have Magic Block, who's kind of like all of our RPCs. So all of our dexes or all of our exchanges, we all met at a Magic Block accelerator. So we all use Magic Block under the hood, which is super amazing. It gives you like sub-second resolution in terms of settling transactions. It's got a lot of really cool features built in for privacy and for speed, for on-chain iteration, like the cron jobs or cranks. So something you want to happen every 50 milliseconds, you can do that on Magic Block. And then we would have our hosts, which would host on these types of platforms. The clippers would clip the host content and post it, and then we need sponsors for the first season or the first events. And we actually have a few people that are willing to sponsor already that we've spoken with. So some of these steps we're kind of getting through, but obviously there's more to be done. And that's pretty much it. So I'm the representative, Joe from BlockSwap. We have some people from these other two teams that I've been talking to, that we've been talking to in the Telegram channel, but this is kind of like the structure. And so the idea that I built is this right here. So this is TapTrade TV. It's a pretty simple, straightforward site. You can trade now or watch live. So this background is what Rush looks like. So you can click watch live, and this would take you to a live stream of Rush trade. So this is just syncing to their decks or to their website. So this is me watching Rush live. Now, this is just watching the app. We still need to figure out how we want to design an interactive experience that can be consumed. So I've been, when I go to the gym, I'll actually take photos of like ESPN on the TV to see how they're structuring everything and how they're trying to make things seem like, or make the experience more engaging for people. So yeah, you can see Rush here. You can switch to Banana Zone, which is, just a different channel. And you can see it's a similar experience, but with a kind of just a different type of theme on top of it. So once this loads, we'll see what Banana Zone looks like. This over here. Come on, internet. Maybe we won't see what Banana Zone looks like. Does BlockSwap load? I don't know, I've been doing a couple of changes, so I might have broken something in the last 20 minutes. Okay, BlockSwap. So this is the BlockSwap version. We have a little QR code here you can scan, and then that'll actually join you into the game. And we'll test this out in a second. Where's Banana Zone? Oh, there it goes, Banana Zone. So this is what Banana Zone looks like. So you can see it's like way more playful. It's got a different style. There's a lot of stuff happening, and this is a different, it's a different environment. So the way we think about each one of these exchanges is very similar to how you would think about racetracks, right? Certain racetracks are like city tracks. Certain racetracks are, nighttime tracks. Certain racetracks are like daytime tracks. Sometimes it's raining, etc. So we want to try to figure out if we can find other people that want to build cool tap trading experiences. Then they don't have to look just like this, but something that's really fun, that's really engaging, that we can stream and that we can add to this homepage and add to this product experience. So the idea would be that we would have these schedules, right? So this is the first schedule. I want to do an exhibition, which will be in about 12 days, I think. Yeah, 12 or 13 days. Do an exhibition where we can have people test this out. We can try a live stream. We can try it with the host. We can try everything, and we can give away some prizes. Now, somebody told me to do this on mainnet, so we might have to actually move this to mainnet. But that would be the idea. It would be, let's do an exhibition. Let's just show people the experience. Let's live stream it, and let's see how it goes. And then the first season would be all three of the exchanges that are interested, right? So we do Rush, Banana, and BlockSwap. These dates are not hard set. I was just trying to find times where the market is live and active, because I think the volatility will make the experience a lot more fun as people are watching and people are interacting. And then also the day of the week that is the most active for trading, which actually I think is Tuesday. So I don't know how these all got set to Wednesday, but this would be an example of season 1, right? You'd watch Rush Trading on April 15th. You'd watch Banana Zone on April 22nd, and then we do BlockSwap on April 29th. And then there's a Become a Sponsor button here. And what this will do is, this is for people that want to help us and sponsor the product and help us get people involved and maybe either sponsor one tournament or sponsor an entire season. And this just sends an email to me letting me know, hey, we're looking for people to work with who want to help us grow this idea and make this thing become really like a big event, a big experience. And then we have the exchanges right now. So these are the three exchanges that are supported. So you can just go, we've got links to their website, their X accounts, telegrams if they have them, stuff like that. So you can click here and go look at Banana Zone's telegram, and this is the Banana Zone Mafia, right? So, and the cool thing is like they've got almost 4,000 followers, right? So they have 4,000 followers. Rush has what, 2,000 followers. Wow, really flashing. And then we have also like 2,500 followers, right? So if you think about us taking all of our energy and all focusing it towards one product, right, and saying like, hey, everybody at Rush, go tune in to Tap Trade TV, or everybody who's in the ecosystem. It's not just Rush, but like everybody in the ecosystem, go tune into Tap Trade TV. We're going to be doing a live stream, and these are the sponsors, and these are the exchanges that are running on there. So you can practice on them if you want, or you can just play in the actual tournament. I think it'll be really good to kind of get to that idea of pushing everybody towards a common location, that we're not going to be gate kept by a bunch of other people. And all of these platforms, if you go trade now and you go to Banana, you're trading Solana or Seeker token or Bonk. Like, you're not trading some low cap, random coin that's like a pump and dump thing. Like, all of these coins have been around for a while. Well, Seeker might be a little newer. Actually, yeah, all these coins have been around for like over a year at least, right? So you're trading things that have some time in the market. You're not trading a coin that was just launched yesterday and it's just going to pump and dump, right? So I think trading real assets is going to be a key thing for this. And everybody has their own strategy in terms of how that works, right? I think if on BlockSwap, we're looking at, actually, if we go to the DevNet, you can see it, the DevNet here. You can see how we're thinking about BlockSwap in the future, which is, you'll be able to trade crypto, you'll be able to trade stocks, right? So this is Apple's price. You can trade stocks, and then we'll also allow you to trade metals in the future, right? So we're thinking about multiple assets that you can trade on here. But everybody's trading things that I would say are not meme coins, not coins that are just going to pump and dump. These are things that have deep liquidity. It's not like a prediction market where it's, somebody could have inside information about Bitcoin, but, it's not going to materially, it's not like one guy has a material amount of the supply. So, so these are the exchanges that are getting started with us. And like I said, all of us are in a Telegram group. We're all cool with this. We're all excited to try this out. We're just looking for right now some committed sponsors to help us kick this off and get everything started for the tournaments. And then this is our Twitter page right here, which is basically, it's just Tap Trade TV, and we don't have any posts yet. I think I repurposed another Twitter account. I don't know what it was, but yeah, I've repurposed another Twitter account. So we have a couple of followers, but the idea would be that we'll broadcast from here as well. And I've been doing a couple of cool things where you can actually stream a website directly to Twitter or X and YouTube and all the places that host RTMP. So you can stream it straight to like Pump Fun. You can stream it straight to YouTube. You can stream it straight to Arena, Twitch, all the sites. So that's that. And then the next thing I wanted to do was let's do a quick demo. So if you're watching this, if you go to, I can't even really share this. If you go to like tap/devnet blockswap.com, I should figure out a way to share this, but if you can see the screen, you can basically take your phone and take a screenshot. I'm going to do this right now of the QR code. And then once you log in, if you log in and you basically create an account on Privy and you switch to DevNet, you'll actually be able to trade against me right now in real time on this leaderboard. So if I click on my phone here and I open up a trade, you'll see it show up. So I just got paid out, right? So I was lucky, but awesome. So you'll actually be able to see trading in real time. So I'm tap trading right now on my phone, and you're seeing the positions open on the screen as I'm tapping, right? And the cool thing is you can actually click in here and you can actually see me trading on my individual trades. So you can see like I'm actually trading and they're actually showing up on the screen. So this is kind of like an experience that I'm thinking about in terms of how do we get people to see what's actually happening as users are interacting with the platform and with the ecosystem. And so you can see, okay, I'm doing okay. And if somebody else joins this right now and they log in and they create an account on Privy, I've been testing on BlockSwap's DevNet. But if you're on DevNet, you can then trade against me, and so you can. There would be multiple people here. So our goal is like if we have multiple people, there's a round. So a new round just started. So if I do some trades, I should show up in this new round over here. Yeah. So I'm down. I just got liquidated. So you can see how I've been playing, right? So this is kind of an idea of an experience that we're talking about, and my overall rank is also going down. So I'm not doing too well, but I'm not looking at the screen. I'm just clicking around just to show you guys. So this would be an idea, or this is an example of having a live stream. It's all round denominated, and then you've got the global leaderboard where you would reward the person who has the highest what's it called, the highest rank, the wallet with the highest what's it called, with the highest ranking, the highest TVL, not TVL, PNL. The trader with the highest PNL will get the first place prize, and then second place, and then third place, right? So you might not even have to put in that much as long as you're good at making predictions, and you can rise to the top. So that's kind of how we're thinking about it, is having this experience where anybody can play, anybody can join, and it's just like a live stream experience. We do this for an hour, so would it be 60 rounds, and then after that is done, highest P&L gets paid out, and we'll have like a pre-show and an after show, and then maybe we can interview people because we'll figure out people have specific strategies that work better than others, and then that helps people learn about tap trading. I'm sure we're going to see some experiences where somebody's on the highest P&L, and then somebody just blasts past them because the price either goes down like that or shoots up. So there's a lot of really cool things I think we can do with this Tap Trade TV. And again, this is trading actual assets. This is not trading, we're not trading like Joe Blau coin that just came out 2 seconds ago. This is going to be like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Apple. Well, I don't know about stocks yet or about equities yet, but right now we're just going to start off with Bitcoin because I think that's going to be a good way for us to kick everything off. So yeah, I'm not doing too well. Let's see. Price is going down. Nope, price is going up. Oh, are we coming back? We're trying to come back. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm not good at this. Some days I'm having a good day, some days I'm having a bad day. But yeah, so this is kind of a cool little example of zooming into a player, watching that specific player trade, and then zooming back out and looking at the rest of the leaderboard. So that's it. If anybody has any questions or any comments, I would love to hear some feedback. I would say, actually, I should have made a page for this. The best way to get in touch with us is probably to go to our, was it? Maybe just go to the BlockSwap Telegram channel. It's probably the easiest way because we don't really have a Telegram channel for this yet. But can I make one? Let's see. Probably somebody already took the name. Let's see, create a new channel. Tap Trade TV. Hey, it's available. All right. T.me/Tap Trade TV. That's our Telegram channel now. Let me let me edit this. Oh my gosh, there's going to be no bot protection in here, nothing. It might be a little madness in here, so. Tap Trade TV. Save. All right. Cool. Okay, so we have a Telegram channel now. Let me add this here. And then let me just put this camera logo on, and then I wish there was a way I don't really have a way to pin links or anything like that. Pin links. That's an inside joke. All right. Okay, the Tap Trade channel. Let's see. Will be this Tap Trade TV. So this is our Telegram channel. 1 subscriber, that will be me. And I'll add this link to some other sources so that we can see this in other places. And I'll also add it to the footer of this page. I'll put the Telegram channel down here as well so that you can see it as well if you want to join that way. But yeah, if you go to taptrade.tv, this is the kind of like high level idea of what we're trying to build. It's just a streaming platform for us to be able to syndicate trading, tap trading. And we're looking for sponsors, obviously. And if you have a product that's built on, and I don't think the chain really matters, but if you have a product that's built on chain, that's a DEX, that has a nice, super fast experience. I think when I say super fast, that kind of removes a lot of products right now, because a lot of products you have to like wait a couple of seconds to have a trade open, and then you have to wait another couple of seconds to have it close. But if you have something that's pretty fast, that looks fun, it's gamified, we'd love to chat with you and see if we can work together to build out more of these exchanges here, right? And then for maybe season 2, we'll have 6 exchanges. We can have a 6-week roster. So that's a little bit about what we're building. And again, any type of feedback would be super, super helpful, super valuable. This is still early days. And like I said, I just kind of showed you what I've been presenting to everybody else that are the people that are inside that pitch deck. I was just kind of being transparent with it. So that is it. Let me see if there's any questions. And if there's no questions, I'm going to sign off. All right. Nobody said anything here. Let me actually go check if anybody on Arena said anything. Oh, snap, Zen Girl's there. Thank you. BT reposted. Thank you. And then Pomp Fawn. We're live on Pomp. It's unpinned. Okay. Somebody said, give me a DM on Telegram. Let's proceed pumping this coin, bruh. Somebody's excited over there. And all the YouTube and X comments have already come through, so I see all those. All right. Well, that was it. That was the idea. I think what I might do is I might live stream this just straight to the, straight to the Tap Trade TV account. So if I send it here. Because if it's live streaming, anybody can scan the QR code and anybody can join and play. So, or join and trade. So maybe I'll stream it here. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. And like I said, any feedback will be helpful. We have a Telegram channel, t.me/TapTradeTV. And you can come in there and give us some feedback. All right. I will chat with you all later. I need some outro music.